So very good evening to all of you. Today we would start the next session and this focuses on the MCQs for science and technology. A very important coverage this time. Now science and technology has been a very important section. A lot of questions coming in on a regular basis from the section on science and technology. So let's begin with our questions for the section on science. Last time there were around 20 to 23 questions from the section on science directly and indirectly. So definitely becomes a very important topic. The first question that we are trying to take here talks about nanobodies. So which of the following statements about nanobodies is correct? We have the choices here and you are supposed to answer the correct choice. Now of these, which do you think is the right answer? So we have nanobodies and the various domains in which it is important, and you have to find out which of the following are correct statements. Okay, so here the first statement says nanobodies have VHH domain and like VL domains. The next says that nanobodies are unstable at extreme pH levels. Then we have they can be produced definitely in large quantity and are compatible with genetic engineering methods. So which of those are correct here? Looking for the correct answers for question number 1. So all those mentioning the correct answer, please mention the correct answer along with the question number. So Sahiti has the right answer. Great Sahiti, great going. Now the second part here is incorrect because nanobodies are stable even at very high temperature. So there are two major domains under which we understand how we focus on the conventional antibodies, and those are the VL and the VH domains. Nanobodies have VHH domains and they actually lack the VL domains. So that is very important thing that we need to understand, and the studies on nanobody have been increasing recently. The next question talks about the genome mapping in Indian Ocean. So as per the genome mapping, which of the following statements are incorrect? Now note, here we do not ask for the correct statements. Here we are asking for the incorrect statements. Which of the following are incorrect statements? So the first statement says the NIO, that is the National Institute of Oceanography, would launch its first of its kind project of genome mapping in the Indian Ocean. Now understand, this is a genome mapping only about the Indian Oceans that we are focusing on. The scientists would also be able to map the bacteria and the microbes which are found in the ocean. The genome is a complete set of DNA, and it can be RNA and RNA in sets of an organism. Okay, and the last statement says the distance between the different sites within a gene cannot be described by gene mapping. Now, which of the following is an incorrect statement? Ganba has a question. Please, Ganba, feel free to mention your question here. Now here, the first three statements are the correct statement because NIO has introduced this project for Indian Ocean where bacteria and microbes would be checked, and the genome is a complete set of DNA of an organism. It could be RNA in RNA virus as well. And then the distance between the different sites within the gene can be described by gene mapping. Since we are doing gene mapping, we would be able to understand the distance between the different sites within the gene. And we would also be able to understand this by the initiative which has been taken by the DBT, the Department for Biotechnology, understanding and identifying the process for the gene. So here D is the incorrect answer, a very important topic, and moreover these topics we have covered and we would be covering in our expected topic questions as well. So very important section again. Now the lumpy skin disease is a topic that we have already covered in our down to earth edition. A very important topic. Great Saiti, good going. Now this lumpy skin disease is a very important topic, as I said. Recently, because of COVID and related issues, all the diseases related to it have been important. Now this is again I would like to say is a surprise question. The correct answers for this would receive a special gift from Examrace. Now this question, what kind of information is correct, is what has been mentioned. So we have to identify the correct statements. Note, here it is correct, not the incorrect statements. Now, the India's bovines have been reported of being getting infected with a lumpy skin disease. The first case of the disease was reported where the lumps open up in large and deep wounds, and how does this disease spread are the kind of statements which are given. Now looking for the correct answer for question number 3. Still waiting for the correct answers to come for question number 3. We have to identify the correct statements here, not the incorrect statements. So this is an infection which is usually seen in bovine animals, cattle, water buffaloes are the common animals which are affected by it. Great, Big Bang has the right answer. Great going. Please send in your complete postal address to admin@examrace.com for a special gift from our side. Simply put in your answer here, sir gamers, and if your answer is correct, you would receive a special gift. So Subhadeep again has the right answer. Great. Now here let's understand what we need to see. The first case of this disease was not reported in China but in India. So the lumps are created across the body, and those sometimes develop into deep open wounds, mainly on the head, neck, limbs, and so on. And then this spreads through various vectors. It can be mosquitoes, it can be flies, it can be ticks. So not ticks is incorrect here. So second and fourth are the incorrect choices. First and third are the correct choices. Great. So we have 1 and 3 as the right option. So A becomes the right answer here. Great. Let's move on to the next question. The next question focuses on OpenRAN architecture. Now, what is RAN? First of all, we need to understand that, and which of the following statements are incorrect with regards to RAN. So we have the various statements here. Sahiti, our maths videos are in development. We have already started with 6th and 7th, and more videos would be coming soon. Ganba has a question about the languages which should be used in UPSC interview, English or Hindi. Now, preferably the language that you have appeared for your mains should be the language of your interview as well. So based on that, you can decide what language you would be going for. But as of now, mainly focus on your language for the mains examination. Question number 4, I'm looking for the correct answers, and great, I have the right answer already from Rohit here. Okay, ORAN consists of open multi-vendor architecture, and it uses software for manufacturing hardware by different companies working together. So both of these statements are correct. RAN does not mean random access network, it means radio access network. So this is incorrect. The third statement is incorrect here. And the elements of RAN includes a radio unit, a centralized unit, and a distribution unit. So again, fourth is incorrect. So you do not have just 2 of the units, you have 3 units which are part of it. So those are the radio units, distribution units, and centralized units. So you have 3 and 4 as the incorrect option, 1 and 2 as the correct option. Again, a very important question in line of the telecom developments these days. The next question is on black box. Recently we have seen many of the flights which were not able to be identified, and the recent crash that we have seen in Kozhikode. The most important thing about any of these crashes is identifying the black box. So we need to know what is information about black box. Now in this question we need to understand which of the statements are correct. Okay, so please understand which of the following statements are correct here regarding black box. Ganba has a question again about language. So Ganba, I would say that language of your communication should be the language that you have applied for in your mains. So in the mains, whatever language you use to write your paper, technically it would be recommended that you use the same language for your interview. I hope that makes my point clear, Ganba. Okay, so Rohit has the answer for it, still looking for the right answers. Now, technically, black box is nothing but a flight data recorder, which is correct. Okay, along with the flight data recorder, it is also the cockpit voice recorder. So both of these things are important. It is the flight data recorder as well as the cockpit voice recorder. It is orange in color but still called as black box, but because it is heavily protected, and so again, second is a correct statement. First is a correct statement, and this is useful to investigate the proceedings in case of an accident or an emergency event. So 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Now the older black box used to have magnetic tapes, not the non-magnetic tapes. So 4th is the incorrect option here. I believe it's clear here. So lots of responses from Satras, Anish, Sahiti. Okay, so all of those are the correct responses. Great going. The next is Saliva Direct COVID-19 test. Now this has been a new laboratory-based diagnostic test which has been approved. Now based on this information, which of the following statements are incorrect? Kindly identify. So we have to identify which of these statements are incorrect. Okay. So looking for the correct answers for question number 6. The emergency use of this new saliva-based laboratory test, which is known as Saliva Direct, has been authorized by US FDA. So that is the Food and the Drug Administration. Okay, so that is the correct statement. Now, as the name suggests, the answer is very, very simple. Saliva Direct uses nothing but saliva samples. So again, second is a correct statement. This test is less invasive and much more simpler because it's simply from the saliva, no nasopharyngeal swab which is being taken. For detecting the upper respiratory infection, usually nasopharyngeal swab is taken. So it's not MP, it is NP swab, it is nasopharyngeal. So one sample from the throat, one sample from the nose, and therefore it is nasopharynx. So nasopharynx swab as it is called as. So 4 is incorrect and 3 is incorrect, and therefore yes, so we have the right answers here from Sahiri. Great. So C is the correct answer. Let's move to the next question. This question talks about the Narco and the Polygraph tests. Which of the following information is correct about a Narco test and a Polygraph test? Now, what is the idea behind these tests? First look into that and then move forward with the correct answers. So looking for the correct answers for question number 7. Question 7, the correct answers, again this is a surprise question, so the first correct answer would be rewarded. Looking forward for the correct responses for question number 7. Just a second. So question number 7, coming back, looking for the correct answers for question number 7. What is a polygraph test? What does the word polygraph mean? What is the Narco test? What is the utility of the Narco test? And how it is being conducted? So we have answers coming in. For Yogita has a right answer. Great going, Yogita. Still looking for the correct answer. Okay, great. A lot of you have the right answers. Those with the correct answers, send in your details to admin@Examrace. Now, polygraph is a lie detector test. So that is the correct statement. Now, we have to identify which of the following statements are correct. Each response is assigned a numerical value to conclude whether the person is telling the truth or is deceiving. And that is where we use the polygraph, the responses. In narco analysis, we do not eject, it is injection. So basically it is injected into the body, and that is sodium pentothal. And sodium pentothal, once it is injected, the person moves into a hypnotized state or a subjective imagination which is neutralized. Okay, the tests similar to polygraphs have been first conducted since 19th century. So third and fourth are the incorrect options. We have first and second as the right option. So wrongly mentioned here. So A becomes the right option. So 1 and 2 are the correct options, and 3 and 4 are the incorrect options. I hope that makes it clear. Okay, let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following statements are incorrect about factor D protein in COVID-19? So what is the cause for the factor D? And we have two factors, factor D and factor H. What is the basis? Now factor D and factor H are known as complement protein. The John Hopkins Medical Research Centers have discovered COVID-19 spike proteins which causes factor D that overstimulate the immune response. Okay, so factor H actually regulates the chemical signals that trigger the inflammation. However, factor D overstimulates the immune response. So C3 becomes the incorrect option, that is C becomes the answer here. The remaining three statements are correct. I repeat again. So this has been conducted by a research team from John Hopkins where two factor proteins have been identified, factor D and factor H. Factor D overstimulates the immune response and factor H actually regulate the chemical signals that trigger the inflammation. Both of these are complement proteins. I hope that makes it clear. Okay, so great. We have a lot of right responses here. Coming on next is aquaponics. Aquaponics is a new technique which has been able to bring an increase in productivity. Now, there has been a pilot project which has been conducted by DAC Mohali and Guru Angad Dev Veterinary University, Ludhiana. This project focuses on the use of advanced centers and this facility is 100% organic. The farmers can increase their productivity. So 1, 2 and 4 are the correct responses. 3 is the incorrect response because it is not inorganic. It is organic in nature. Okay, I hope that makes it clear. So very important in urban areas where you have significantly higher demand for food and fishing, this is one of the techniques that can be drawn and brought into consideration and developed further. 100% organic technique consuming 90% less water and bringing in more nutritional values. The last question that we have for today talks about the zoo infection. What is the zoo infection in rice and which of the following statements are incorrect regarding this? So we have to identify which of the following statements is incorrect regarding this infection. So it is a mechanism by which bacteria, and this bacteria is known as zoo, interacts with the plants and affects it. So zoo causes various serious bacterial diseases. Zoo is basically a gram-negative bacteria. If you want to understand more on gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria, we have covered those in a separate lecture on YouTube Doorstep Tutor. So you can refer that. Now, zoo once started, I already have a lot of correct answers. Great. It causes serious bacterial leaf blight disease in rice, so affects the leaves of the rice plant. This causes huge loss in rice cultivation. This has been conducted, the studies have been conducted through the Center for Plant Molecular Biology and it affects other plants as well. So 3 is the incorrect option here. So 1, 2 and 4 are the correct options. I hope that makes it clear. Okay, so those were some of the questions that we have discussed for today. We meet every Tuesdays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. in the evening for the live sessions, and our videos are live every Monday to Friday at 11:30 a.m. in the morning and 7:30 p.m. in the evening, all days except the days we are there live. So stay tuned for updates from our side. Stay subscribed for more expected topics that we would be covering before your prelims examination. Very good luck for your preparation. Have a safe day ahead.